Yes, let's definitely move on. FCC versus New York City. They kicked off Saturday's Eastern Conference Game 3 tripleheader. FCC hosting New York. Both teams handled business at home. FCC scraped by with a 1-0 win in game one. NYC fully dismantled them at home in game two. Game three was a chess match, and it seemed very much like FCC controlled it, but they couldn't find the breakthrough. They had tons of chances. They struck the post. They went wide. Matt Freese proved once again that his exclusion from the goalkeeper of the year conversation was a straight robbery. They could not break through. After 0-0 through 90 minutes, it was off to one of the best terrible penalty shootouts we've ever seen. You want to talk about Red Bull, like, oh, Columbus misses three in a row? Like, this was miles worse. They all scored their first couple until Pavel Buka saw his shot saved. And after two more conversions, Celentano versus Thiago Martins, he goes down to his right, makes a huge save, and we go on to witness a masterclass in how not to take penalties. Both teams with a chance to win saw key shooters miss not once, not twice, not three or four times, but 5 times in a row. 5 shooters missed their efforts or had them saved. Valenzuela and O'Toole both saw their shots saved, while Awaziem and Pereira both sent their chances into row Z. It was quite clear from
That's
this
because
point.
Awaziem has a Z in his name. Get
Look
it?
at you, man. This is what we bring you around for.
I'm here for the jokes.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
here all week.
your vibes, man. All vibes. Listen, the way that these guys were missing penalties, it was pretty clear they knew that Red Bull were in the next round, and they'd rather go home than face them, right? Nobody wants to play the Red Bull. They know that we're hot. They know that we're on fire, and nobody wants to play. So when teenage Hidebe stepped up, he was like, dive that way. And then he passed it into the hands of Matt Freese. Ilinic stepped up and said, I'll score here, why not? And laces it into the top corner to send FCC home and set up the first ever playoff version of the Hudson River Derby. Your thoughts?
Oh man, I want to know what Pat Noonan was trying to cook with this lineup because what is that? Like you have 3 strikers on your bench and your front 2 striker pairing is Luca Oriano and Yuya Kubo. Like what are we cooking here? What are we cooking, Pat? I mean,
Cooking cereal, baby.
that's a really good one.
Have you not heard of that? We've used that.
I haven't
before
heard that. No,
we've used
first
that in
time
the
I
group
heard
before.
that.
Oh, that's right. You don't talk to the group anymore, so you wouldn't know. But yeah, we
No,
use
I
that.
don't. That's really good though. But yeah, it should be no shock that you scored 2 goals in a 3-game series when you're playing 2 guys completely out of position at striker. You have options on the bench. Why would you not play Gioacchini, Sergio Santos, Kevin Kelsey? Like, what are we doing? What was the game plan here? Just try to go to penalties and beat it out? Like, you're going to do that against the guy who should be in the running for MLS Goalkeeper of the Year? Like, that's the route you want to take? Like, I know in game one, statistically at least, they played NYC off the field. But reality is you squeaked out a win, 1-0. Then in game two, that same tactic got exposed and you lost easily. And then in game three, the tactic again did not work in the attack, where again, you couldn't, I mean, you generated 1 XG, which is just not going to be good enough to beat Matt Freese the way he's been playing this season. So I know Pat Noonan is a really good coach, but I don't know what he was cooking with this one. Maybe you could, I don't know if you disagree, but I don't understand this one.
No, I completely agree with you. So FC Cincinnati, just from the Leagues Cup break on, looked underwhelming to say the least, right? 3 wins in their last 10 games, 4 losses in that span. They're at 10, just like I said, the lack of production from the 9, you hit it really well. You ran out Orellano and Kubo over the likes of your 2 loanees, Kevin Kelsey and Nico Giacchini, who you brought in for this exact reason to give you depth in these moments. Or Sergio Santos, or even Corey Baird, who, not ideal. We talked about it before, but he's shown playoff success. He's been here, done that, So it's not like you're putting out a 17-year-old kid who's never seen the field before. It's there. So the fact that you don't have somebody consistently producing in that role, you will always struggle in these sorts of tournaments. Now, the other thing, it's also hinted that this might be the last time FCC fans see 2023 MVP Lucho Acosta in the blue and orange. After the game, he made a comment out to reporters saying that that might be his last ever game. He was frustrated and the season was tough for him and his family. He may be on the move, which would be another huge loss because his production is extremely hard to replace. That's not like your 6 goals, 7 assists sort of. Yeah, we could find that in a youth kid or maybe like a TAM player. Like this guy's been in the MVP running for like 3 years. You don't just find that on the street.
Oh no, if he's gone, this team's not making the playoffs.
Oh,
Like
bold
I think we're
predictions.
going. I think yeah, maybe I'm leaking a bold prediction, but I think this team is heading back into wooden spoon territory without Lucio Costa.
That's a little bit out there.
Yeah,
Um,
okay, yeah, that might be a little harsh because they're still pretty good defensively, but
Listen, that's
they're
bold
going to score
enough.
like 5 goals next year without Lucio
That's bold.
Costa.
That's bold enough, man. Send it. Um, no, so and then I like to talk about both teams in here because it wasn't just FC Cincinnati being bad. Um, New York City have one more game on a baseball stadium. It's the first ever Hudson River Derby in the playoffs. They swept the Derby this season in the regular season, rather, a 2-1 win at Citi Field, which is where this game is going to be played, and they absolutely dismantled Red Bull 5-1 or 5-1, 5-2. I think it was 5-1.
I think it's 5-1.
Yeah, later on in October. I mean, they're both punching above their weight. Both of them didn't expect to be here. I was actually talking to Dean Goose, who does the social media or the graphic design for NYC, and I was DMing him before the season started or before the playoffs started. I was like, yeah, man, like just you guys beat Cincy, we'll beat Columbus, just meet up for our first ever playoff, right? He's like, yeah, dude, sounds great. I'm like, yeah, we're not, none of that's ever gonna happen. And every time one of our teams won, we're like, no way it's gonna happen, no way it's gonna happen. Oh my god, it happened, right? We're losing our minds. But we're both, none of us expected to be here, but New York City has two big things going for them, right? Matt Freese is still insane, and Martinez and Rodriguez are playing really well in transition, right? And that's something that we're gonna watch. In this, it's going to be a chess match, right? So we're going to do previews next week for these games, but one of the things I will tell you is that we will not be pressing them high up the field. I don't care how small the field is. Our success against Columbus, where we sat in and let them have the ball and playing in transition, will be what we do for the. I have to imagine it will be what we do moving on, because we know that they hurt us in transition. We know that they hurt most of their teams in transition. Don't let them transition. That's gonna be the goal. So sit in, let Lewis Morgan and Dante Vanzier just run in behind, and hope that Matt Freese has an off night, because it's only one game. You don't get three this time. You got to win on the road and get to the conference finals.
Yep, 100%. Looking forward to that next round. We got,
Ugh.
I don't want to spoil what's coming up next, what we're talking about, but double rivalry in the East heading into the conference semifinals is awesome.
I put a tweet out there like, yeah, people really thought we were gonna get like Miami, Orlando, like a Florida rivalry, and then a Hell is Real, and we ended up with Orlando, Atlanta, and the Hudson River Derby. Like, just such good scenes, such good scenes.
We
But
got
yeah,
the OG rivalries instead of the recent
the
rivalries.
fabricated ones.
Yeah, the fake
Um,
ones.